Hello everyone and welcome back to a brand new video. Today I'll be talking about the final round of the Brasileirao and I'll be talking about the teams that came up and the total goal scorer and the total assister of the Brasileirao. So let's get into it. So first let's talk about the final round because that is something I do talk round to round, of course. So the final round we had Avaí, Flamengo, Avaí. Last two rounds, I don't know, they played so well. They beat Flamengo 2-1. Ceará, Juventude 4-1 for Ceará, which is quite expected. Juventude came last for a reason. Santos Fortaleza 2-0 for Fortaleza. And I know I'm a Santos fan, but I love to see Fortaleza doing so well. They were pretty much going to fall when I started my channel, and now they're going to Libertadores. If we look at the table that we had all the way back there, Fortaleza were last. If you look at that, if you go back to my first overview of the first half of the Brasileirão, Fortaleza were absolute last. They were going to fall. Now they beat Santos and they're going to Libertadores, which is amazing. And also, the coach for Fortaleza has shown something many coaches don't show, which is actually caring about the team and caring about the whole like in Brazil, no team. The managers want money, but this manager, Voivoda, he really surprised me because Atlético Mineiro and Corinthians gave for so much money, like a lot of money to him to come to their team, but he decided to take less money and stay in Fortaleza, continuing his like plan on what he wants to do with Fortaleza and continuing his time in Fortaleza, which is just amazing. Fortaleza kept him from the start of the year. They were last. They were absolute last. He was not doing very well in Fortaleza, but they kept him, trusted his work, and it worked. It paid off. Bragantino Fluminense 1-0 for Fluminense. Bragantino have now stayed in a very low position, 14th, very low for their usual like the recent years. That's very low for them. Internacional Palmeiras 3-0 for Internacional. Of course, Palmeiras had some player like Everton, the goalkeeper, was not playing because World Cup, and he was already going to the World Cup. By the way, for you guys that want to see some videos whilst about World Cup, I will be making videos on the Brazil matches, so stay ready for that. And if it's already not been posted, if it's going to be posted, I have made a video on my prediction of the Brasileirão, so please watch that. It's a very good video. Atlético Paranaense Botafogo was 3-0 for Atlético Paranaense, but next year Botafogo are going to be amazing. Botafogo, who this year ended 11th, but they are SAFI, what we call SAFI in Brazil. So they're a company, and they're owned by the same owner as Crystal Palace, so they have a lot of money, and they're going to be wasting a lot of it next year. América Mineiro Atlético Goianiense 1-1 with a red card for Atlético Goianiense. Cuiabá Curitiba 2-1 for a red card for Curitiba. Corinthians Atlético Mineiro 1-0 for Atlético Mineiro. The last match for both managers. And Goiás São Paulo 4-0 for São Paulo. Was not enough for São Paulo to qualify. Now, for top scorer, I decided not to go for top scorer off the round. Of course, I could, and it would definitely make sense, but I decided it's not the best option this round, since this round we pretty much had the last round of the Brasileirão. So instead of talking about top scorer off the round, I could just talk about top scorer of the whole Brasileirão as a whole. So, like, if I wanted to talk about top scorer, I'd look at, like, matches that's had 2 or more goals scored, and I'd look at who would be top scorer. But I decided it's not the best of options. The best option is going to be, I'm going to tell you guys the top scorer overall. So, as you guys might probably know, the top scorer when I started this channel was German Cano, and he still is the top scorer with 26 goals in one season. Pedro Raul, of course, killed it with 19. Caleri with 18. Bizzoli, who fell to the second division, scored 14. I'm going to say this. This is something I say before the season starts for next year, or before the transfer market. Whoever in the first division gets Bizzoli in their team is going to have a great player, because he's good. He is good. He's able to score 14 goals in a team that fell to the second division. Imagine in a good team. Imagine in a good team. Just imagine. Imagine he goes to like, even if he went to like Curitiba. In Curitiba, I'm pretty sure he'd score more. Imagine him in like Palmeiras, with a Palmeiras midfield, that kind of stuff. Amazing player, and it's gonna be and it's gonna be cheap. He's gonna be cheap because he played for a second division. He's playing for a second division team, Bizoli. So it's gonna be very interesting. Like Cano. Cano last year was in Vasco. Now he's in Fluminense, absolutely killing it. And same thing I can see with Bizoli. Bizoli could do the same thing. Marcos Leonardo with 13 goals was 5th. Now for assists, we had I don't have picture here, but Gustavo Scarpa won it, which he beat Jorjan de Arrascaeta, who in the start of my channel was first. João Arias came also second, drawed second with Jorjan de Arrascaeta. Dudu came 4th, and Angelo Gabriel came 5th, with Santos having 2 players 5th in goals and assists, but it's the 2 players that are probably the youngsters that are going to be really good. They should be watched for. Although Angelo Gabriel only scored like 1 goal the whole season, he was the top assister for Santos, which for the age of 17 is amazing. Top yellow cards, we don't need to talk about them because well done, you got most yellow cards, well done. And top red cards we don't need to talk about. So now let's talk about the tables from last week. I'm not gonna lie, we don't need to see last week's table. Let's just look at the final table. I'm pretty sure it's this one, right? Yeah. Let's just talk about the final table that we have in the Brasileirão. So Palmeiras, Internacional, Fluminense, Corinthians, Flamengo, and Atlético Paranaense are going straight to the Libertadores. Now, Atlético Mineiro and Fortaleza, which, what a second half. Pretty sure they're second overall in the second half. They came from absolutely where Juventude is. That's where they were, and now they're 8th. Very well done. And like I said, I congratulate Voivoda, and I congratulate the management for the president and everything for keeping him and trusting him in his work. Now, São Paulo, América Mineiro, Botafogo, Santos, Goiás, and Bragantino are all going to the Sul-Americana. Curitiba and Cuiabá are just going to stay in the Serie A without any international competitions. And Ceará, Atlético Goianiense, Avaí, and Juventude are all falling to the second division, who we have Cruzeiro, Grêmio, Bahia, and Vasco coming up. I will be making, when we get closer to 2023 season, I'll be talking more about them. But so far, we have Cruzeiro, who is a SAFI, so a company owned by R9 Ronaldo. Grêmio is a very good team. They're not SAFI, but they still have lots of money. Bahia are probably gonna become Citigroup. I'm pretty sure they're very close to becoming Citigroup. They're not gonna become Salvador City because the name of the city is Salvador, but they're gonna become Bahia City, which is very weird because Bahia is the state they're in. But yeah, and Vasco is already SAFI like Cruzeiro. So next year we're gonna have a top tier Brasileirão. I can only think of 2 teams that are close to falling, and it's still good teams. Curitiba and Cuiabá are probably gonna fall next year if they don't do big transfers. But next year is gonna be amazing because we're gonna have Botafogo, who is gonna invest more. Teams like Palmeiras, Internacional, Fluminense, Corinthians, Flamengo, Atlético Paranaense, Atlético Mineiro already have a lot of money. São Paulo already has lots of money. Santos is going to start spending more this year. Goiás have a good team. But Bragantino are going to start spending lots of money because they are owned by Red Bull. So it's going to be amazing next year, the Brasileirão. So if you guys do want to watch that, please make sure to come to my channel next year in 2023. And also, make sure to watch the World Cup videos I make. Good.